Hi, everybody, and welcome to week 9 of Sun Bookshop Reviews. I'm going to start us off this week with Charles Yu Interior Chinatown, which won the 2020 National Book Award, which is kind of one of the reasons I picked it up because Sigrid Nunez won that prize for The Friend, and that was one of my favorite books, so I was pretty intrigued. And it's a kind of crazy novel. It's basically this world where it's kind of fantasy. And Interior Chinatown, it's written like a script. The entire book is like, you can look at it. It's written like a script in Korea font and has all the scene suggestions and like all these things. But it's basically, it's crazy. And I loved it. Basically, everyone in this book is an actor in some role, and reality keeps colliding with that. And the main character is a guy called Willis, and he wants to be an Asian actor in America, but he talks continuously about the apex of that is to get to Kung Fu guy. And his father was Kung Fu guy, and he wants to be Kung Fu guy. But, you know, he has to work so hard towards it, and he's constantly getting killed. And if you get killed, you have to wait 45 days before you can work again because everybody would be confused if you got killed the week before and then you were back on screen. Like, it's darkly, darkly funny. A lot of it's really heartbreaking as well, because where there's points where reality collides and it talks about the history of the people and actually the hardships. There's a love story. It's written in 7 acts, and basically it's really vicious about Hollywood, or just you can look at Australian media very accurately as well, and just this sort of need. What does it mean that you're stereotyped and forced into a role? And it investigates it really, really well. And it's insane, but as long as you accept that the world is that everyone is an actor, like all the world's a stage, and it's bonkers. There are a few points I was like, I don't really understand, and then by the end of the book you go, oh, okay, but it's wonderful. And that's me. And next is Kate.
So this week, I will admit I'm only halfway through this book, but I'm absolutely loving it so much that I have to recommend it to you. The Absolute Book by Elizabeth Knox. It's so fantastic, and it doesn't slow down. You sort of start immediately knowing that the central character, Taryn's sister, Beatrice, has been killed, and what happened to her, and the court case against the murderer who killed her. And then you get sort of thrust into this point where Taryn's hiring an assassin to kill the murderer when he gets released from prison and all of this sort of stuff. So that's all happening in this sort of this almost like a bit of a murder mystery slant to it. And then it just has this incredible explosion of worlds. So you've got England and Auckland, so reality, and then you've got purgatory, and then you have this sort of fantastical fairyland, and Taryn's experience walking through all of these places, and it's all sort of centered around this book called The Absolute Book. And it's also just this ode to the love of stories, the love of literature, the love of libraries, and the love of knowledge, and how that plays such a huge part in everyone's world. It's just so fantastic. And I really, really enjoyed Elizabeth Knox's other book, Wake, which again just kind of throws you right in there. It doesn't pull any punches. Because she just is such an incredible world builder, even when she's building reality, sort of, you know, what we would know of as England. She just builds it in such a incredible way that her attention to detail and her explanation of sort of everyday things is just exquisite. It's so beautifully written. Her imagination is fantastic. And this book is just, it takes you on such an epic journey. It's hugely fantastical, and yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. So that's The Absolute Book by Elizabeth Knox.
Excellent. Now, I have had kind of a crap week, and what do I want when I've had kind of a crap week? I want to get lost in a fabulous page-turning crime novel, and that's what I've got here. It's called Black Widows, and it's by Cat Quinn. And if, like me, you watched Big Love, and just love that kind of place to be, to look at from the outside. This is the book for you. This man, Blake Nelson, is found murdered. He lives on a very, very remote ranch with his 3 sister wives, and they are all, nobody knows where they are. They live in Utah. It's illegal to be polygamous in Utah. So nobody knows where the ranch is. It's a big secret. The 3 sister wives are all very, very different people. They all have extremely good reasons to hate Blake and want him dead. And then none of them like each other either. They kind of, maybe they've got reasons to kill each other. You're not really sure. They're the main suspects in the murder. One of them has come from, she grew up in a polygamous cult, which was raided by the police when she was a teenager. And the prophet, her father, is in jail forever because it was a really bad, bad place. And all this stuff's going on. You get each of their stories. It just twists and turns all the way. I was surprised. I think I'm amazing at guessing the killer. Didn't do it. It's a really, really good book. I highly recommend to just disappear into a book, Black Widows by Cat Quinn. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us from the Sun Bookshop, and go read some books. Bye.